Let me ask you something. You are a mother. It is the middle of the night. You are in pain, and your baby is coming right now. But there is no hospital, no ambulance to call, no doctor, no medicine, no electricity, just a cold, dark room, a midwife, and luck. Will your baby survive the night? That was not a hypothetical. That was the reality for every single mother on Earth for nearly 300,000 years. And here is the part that should stop you cold. Most of those babies survived, not because of medicine, not because of technology, but because of something researchers are only now beginning to fully understand. And what they found changes everything about what we thought we knew about human survival. In the 1980s, anthropologist Dr. Wenda Trevathan spent years studying something most researchers had completely ignored. Not how babies survived, but why human babies are so helpless at birth compared to every other primate on Earth. A chimpanzee baby is born gripping its mother within minutes, clinging, alert, moving. A human baby cannot hold its own head up. It cannot feed itself. It cannot walk. It cannot survive a single hour without another human being. So the question she asked was simple. Why? The answer was the brain. A human brain at birth is only 25% developed. A chimpanzee brain at birth is already 45% developed, nearly twice as complete. Here is the mechanism that explains everything. The human brain grew so extraordinarily large that if it developed any further inside the womb, the baby could not survive the birth canal. The human pelvis evolved for walking upright. That made the opening smaller. The brain kept growing anyway. So evolution made a trade. Babies are born early, brain unfinished, helpless on purpose, because the alternative was extinction. Think about what that means. Every human alive today is the product of a baby that should not have survived, born with 75% of its brain still unfinished, in a world with no hospitals, no formula, no incubators, no antibiotics. The chimpanzee baby grips its mother and holds on. The human baby cannot even do that. And yet, here you are. Go back 10,000 years. A baby is born somewhere in ancient Africa. There are no walls around the birth, no roof above it, just open land, a fire, and the women of the tribe gathered around. The oldest woman present has done this before, many times. She learned from her mother, who learned from hers, going back further than anyone can remember. There is no sterile equipment. The tool that cuts the umbilical cord has never been cleaned the way we understand cleaning today. There are no antibiotics waiting if infection sets in. And the mother, statistically, has a real chance of not surviving the birth herself. The first threat was the birth itself. Ancient childbirth was so dangerous it was considered one of the leading causes of death for women. If the baby came out in the wrong position, there was almost nothing anyone could do. No surgery, no forceps, nothing. The second threat was infection. No antiseptics, no sterile tools. The umbilical cord, the open wound connecting mother to child, was a direct pathway for bacteria. Infections that today are treated with a single pill killed thousands of newborns before they were a week old. The third threat was feeding. Formula did not exist. It would not exist for another 10,000 years. If the mother could not produce milk, the baby depended entirely on another breastfeeding woman in the group willing to feed someone else's child. If no one stepped forward, the baby had almost no chance. The fourth threat was the environment itself. No walls, no heating, no controlled temperature. A baby born during a cold night on the African savanna or in the mountains of ancient Asia faced temperature drops that could kill a newborn within hours, and surrounding the camp, predators, animals that could smell a newborn from miles away. And yet, they survived. Not all of them, but enough of them that the human species did not disappear. Enough of them that you exist right now watching this. So what saved them? The first answer is the one researchers keep returning to: community. Ancient humans did not raise babies alone. Ever. The entire group, grandmothers, aunts, older children, other mothers, every capable person had a role in keeping a newborn alive. Anthropologists call this alloparenting, the practice of non-parents actively raising a child alongside its mother. No other primate does this at the scale humans do. And remember what Dr. Trevathan found. The human baby is born helpless on purpose, because human babies were never designed to be raised by one person. The chimpanzee mother raises her child almost entirely alone. The human baby was designed by evolution itself to need a village. And for 300,000 years, that village showed up. The second answer is breast milk. It is not just food. Breast milk carries the mother's antibodies, a direct transfer of immune protection from someone who has already survived this environment into someone who has not yet faced it. Every infection the mother ever fought, Every bacteria she ever encountered, every illness she ever survived, all of it transferred invisibly to the baby with every feeding. In a world without medicine, that transfer was the closest thing to a vaccine that had ever existed. The third answer is generational knowledge. Ancient midwives used plants, chamomile, garlic, certain barks and roots, not as superstition, but as real medicine passed down and refined across thousands of generations of women. Modern pharmacology has gone back and tested many of these plants. Some of them actually worked. The fourth answer is the hardest one to say out loud. Natural selection. The babies who survived were statistically the ones built to survive. Premature births, severe complications, weak immune responses. In the ancient world, those outcomes almost always meant death within days. Nature was the filter, and it was completely brutal. For 300,000 years, nothing changed. Babies were born the same way, survived the same way, died the same way. Then, around 5,000 years ago, something shifted. Communities grew into villages, villages grew into cities, and with cities came something new. Specialization. Women who did nothing but study birth, who spent their entire lives learning every complication, every position, every herb, every technique. The first professional midwives. Then came written knowledge. Instead of passing survival information from mother to daughter by memory, it could be written down, preserved, shared across distances. Then, just 200 years ago, came the thing that changed everything faster than anything in the previous 300,000 years combined. Germ theory, the understanding that invisible organisms, bacteria, were killing babies after birth. Once that was understood, sterile tools, clean water, antiseptics, infant mortality dropped faster than at any point in human history, from 1 in 2 to 1 in 100, in less than 2 centuries. You are alive right now, because somewhere in your family line, going back 10,000 years, 100,000 years, a baby survived something it had no right to survive. No hospital, no doctor, no medicine, just a group of people who refused to let it go. The technology changed everything. But here is what the data actually shows. The single most important factor in ancient infant survival was not strength. It was not genetics. It was whether the people around that baby showed up. 300,000 years later, the brain is still born 75% unfinished. The baby still cannot survive alone. The biology never changed, only the village did.